What if I told you that everything you experience in life, every positive event, every negative event, says everything about you and nothing about the world outside of you? Because reality is not random, it is a mirror that is reflecting your internal world right back at you. And once you understand how to read this mirror of reality, you can start to take advantage of it to evolve all areas of your life, whether it's spiritual, business, career, friendships, relationships, you name it. If you feel like you keep hitting these blockages in your life that impede you from getting to that next level, it's most likely this invisible block that is hidden inside your perception. In this video, I'm going to cover how to use the mirror principle in order to uncover these subconscious judgments that are silently blocking you right now. From what? Your ability to become a true reality creator. So buckle up and let's begin. Everything you see, feel, experience are all projections of what is going on inside of you, and your perception is actually what creates that reality, shaping it into what you are currently perceiving, and your perception is built through judgment. You are always judging. When I say judging, I don't just mean like, oh, that person is ugly or something like that. That is of course a negative judgment, but you're also always judging. For example, if I show you my phone right now, like this is my phone, I know this is a phone because somebody taught me in the past that this is a phone, but I don't actually truly know what this is, because humans often label absolutely everything in their reality, and that is actually in itself a judgment. You're judging what it is. In reality, nothing actually means anything until you give it a perception. This is why monks train their entire lives and isolate themselves from modern reality in order to stop having a perception or judging. And that is a very valid path, but it's definitely not mine, and it's probably not yours either. I know as long as I'm alive, I am going to continue to give a meaning to the things that I see. Therefore, I'm going to have a judgment, because at the end of the day, I do wish to be active in the material world and use this illusion and its rules and all of these different universal laws to my advantage, so I can learn how to manipulate it. And that's also a very valid path, right? You don't need to go completely in the left-hand path and become a monk and like isolate yourself from reality in order to be spiritual. Everything is already spiritual, and just the mere fact that you're actively creating your reality and you're learning how to have more control over it already makes you an active student towards self-mastery. But it is the labeling of good or bad when you're judging that actually could either affect or evolve your reality. Because here's the catch: when your perception is laced with fear, with lack, with resentment, you distort what you see. If you've been subscribing to me, you have probably heard about the young double-slit experiment, basically proving that the particles that make up our reality are shaped by the observer that is observing them. And depending on how they are being observed, right, with what perception, they do change behavior. So they literally are in this infinite potential up until somebody observes the reality, and then they collapse into material form. Okay, so your perception is quite literally what is shaping this reality right now. So it is how you are perceiving it that will continue to either show you a higher path or a path of fear. And as I covered before, somebody in the past told me this was a phone, so I started calling it a phone. But that's how everything works. You started calling your reality or the computer that you're, watching this from, or your phone, those things because somebody told you in the past. Everybody has always told you, like when you were growing up, people told you what is what. You are never actually upset because of what you think you are upset about. You are constantly projecting your past onto your present moment and unconsciously creating limitations, because this is the thing: the mirror of reality doesn't care about what you want. It responds to what you believe, especially what you believe about yourself. So when you're judging others for either being lazy or for doing this that's not spiritual, right? It happens a lot in the spiritual community, for being mean or whatever they're doing, whatever judgment that you have that is negative upon a person, you are actually judging repressed aspects of you that you don't like. And this is also goes the positive way. When you really enjoy somebody's aspect, when you really love somebody, you're projecting that love that you actually have for aspects of you, whether they're repressed or not. This is something that you see quite a lot with the fans, right? People who are fans and like they become crazy over these celebrities. They are seeing in that celebrity an aspect of themselves that they subconsciously want to allow into fruition, but they are repressing it. So that's why they have this huge obsession over that person. That's because they want to be them so bad, because they have the potential, it's just repressed. So they project that into their external world. Let's talk about why this can block you from creating reality consciously. From your quantum perspective, your higher self exists in a field of infinite infinite possibilities. It already knows the paths, right? Because there's not only just one, there's multiple to your most expansive self, but it can only guide you through alignment. When your perception is distorted by subconscious fear, you completely disconnect from that guidance. But let me explain to you why. So there are only two vibrations in this entire reality. And the thing is that it's not even like, it's really just one vibration. And in the grand scheme of things, everything is one, everything is love, everything is God, the universe, etc. But when it comes into the physical realm, it almost refracts itself, creating the illusion of separation, right? So the more that you are separated from that source, from that godly aspect of you, you're going to experience fear. So basically what I'm trying to say is that fear is the consequence of the illusion of separation. And then all other vibrations and all other emotions stem directly from these two, okay? So yes, in the grand scheme of things, fear is also a variation of love, but to keep it more simple, because we are in this illusion, we are in this dual realm, and it's important to work with it. Yes, fear and love are the two core vibrations to all emotions. So what happens when you start to perceive through fear? You are disconnecting yourself from that godly aspect of you that creates reality. How can you possibly create your reality if you don't believe you are one with it? So what happens is that you end up creating reality subconsciously out of fear and attracting scenarios that are going to reflect those low vibrations. And this happens when you judge others also negatively, right? Because when you judge a person negatively, it has nothing to do with the person, even if the person's actually, acting off. A monk, if somebody curses them out, they're not gonna care. They're gonna probably see that the person is very hurt and they're gonna have love for that person. Most people would probably, be like, oh my God, that person is so bad, blah, blah, blah. And they're just projecting that fear onto others. And you know what? I'm not gonna tell you I don't judge. I judge sometimes, right? I try my best to actually limit my negative judgings upon people, but I still judge, okay? So I'm not perfect, and I want to tell you this because you're probably not gonna be 100% positive all the time, but it is definitely something you should watch out for and work on, because when you set your ego aside and you recognize that you're actually pissed at somebody or pissed at a situation, not because of the actual thing, but because there's something reflecting inside of you, that's when you start to actually take advantage of the mirror of reality. You need to set your ego aside. You cannot be putting the blame outwards. Like, okay, I feel this way, I'm gonna put it and project it outwards, because that is just going to limit your growth, because you're throwing the responsibility outwards. How could you possibly take accountability and grow and really take advantage of this principle if you're throwing the blame outwards? So for example, let's say that you get fired from your job. There's two scenarios that can come out from this, right? Remember, because either you can perceive this through fear or through love. So let's say that you are angry, you're like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do, all these bills that I gotta pay, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with my life, whatever. That is obviously just going to attract more things of that vibration, right? But if you're perceiving that situation through, well, this happened, yes, it's messed up, but now I have more free time to focus on what I love and so study a new skill set, so maybe I can make more money, or I can get a job that I'm actually gonna like this is an opportunity rather than a bad event, right? So that person is most likely going to attract things of a higher vibration that are aligned with those things that they are perceiving. So the more that you're perceiving things through love, the more that you are connecting to that very source of the things that you want, like abundance, like love, etc. But when you perceive through fear, you're getting stuck in frequencies that are not aligned with what you desire. But most people don't realize this because they're completely letting their subconscious mind hijack their perception. They think they're responding to life, but really they are reacting to their past. But here's the gift in all of this, right? Every trigger is a tool and every frustration is a feedback. When you learn to read your projections and set your ego aside, you unlock the exact blueprint to your next level. Your reality is constantly showing you what you still need to alchemize, what you still need to integrate, so you can rise your frequency and connect more with love, right? So you actually gain more conscious control over what you're creating in your reality. And you're absolutely not being punished. I really want to put this here because yes, there's a thing about taking responsibility and being like, okay, well, this person literally just did this to me, but they are probably hurting, right? But it doesn't mean that you're going to punish yourself and be like, oh my God, this is my fault, I'm projecting this, right? That is also fear. So remember, there is no compassion towards others if there's no compassion first towards yourself. Taking responsibility for your reality doesn't mean you're letting people step all over you. So for a long time, I used to victimize myself. Like I would go through these emotional distress and then I would end up begging my friends for help. And when they wouldn't want to deal with me because they have their own lives as well, they can't be all for me there all the time, I would start to build so much resentment towards them and to project that that over to them. And that's something that eventually I was like, wait, this is something that I should be able to give myself. Like, my friends are already there for me, but they can't be there for me all the time. So this is something that I had to really work on in order to start attracting the people that I wanted into my life. Because at the end of the day, when you are like, oh my god, this person's like not meeting this need, you're projecting that resentment you actually have towards yourself because you're not meeting those needs. And that's obviously something like a very specific example, but this is something that constantly happens to me. Every single time I have like a negative projection on something, I want to understand why it's there. It's not because I blame the other person exactly for what happened, although I still got a lot to forgive, and I'm sure you do too, but it's about also recognizing that yes, you are projecting, and taking radical accountability for your projection doesn't mean that you blame yourself. This is actually how you free yourself. I started asking myself, what is this teaching me about myself? How can the energy of these people or these events be flipped around to me? Like, how am I giving that same energy to myself? And every single time I did this, I reclaimed power I didn't even know I had given away. Obviously, this massively impacted the people I attracted, the business that I attracted as well, and my magnetism returned because my energy changed. I came up with this quote, stop demanding the mirror what you owe to yourself, which to this day, I still also repeat to myself. I had a client who was trying to manifest like a divine masculine into her life, and mind you, she was very in the masculine energy herself. So she would continue to attract these feminine men who wouldn't want to be really there for her, who, you know, were very emotional, who just didn't know how to treat her like a woman. And eventually this man cheated on her. She asked me, why am I attracting cheating men? Like, why do I keep attracting these feminine men in my life? And I'm like, girl, well, you cheat on yourself all the time. You are constantly working, you push aside the things that you really want to do, and you don't really give yourself the time that you need. You cheat on yourself with external responsibilities all the time. His betrayal hurt not because of the act itself, but because it mirrored an aspect of you that betrays you like that every single day. Obviously, the man was no good. Once again, you need to have that boundary as well on protecting yourself from other people. But all the people that you attract and situations as well are going to reflect aspects of you. And this goes for all areas of your life. So how do you use the mirror of reality to shift your life? Number one is to catch the projection. Once again, you need to set your ego aside. There's no way you'll be able to work with this if you don't set your ego aside and you don't take full responsibility. When you feel triggered, defensive, impatient, pause, because that's your mirror. So for example, this is something, by the way, that still happens to me. So if you're a content creator, you probably know about this. Sometimes I get pissed at the comments that I get because they disagree with my posts, right? And they comment hate. And I look at that and I try to fight with them. I end up feeling like this resentment towards them, etc. But at the end of the day, that's me projecting an aspect of myself that does not recognize me. So what I had to do in order to work on that is start to recognize that when I try to fight people in the comments, that's really just me fighting myself. So what did I do next? Number two is to ask the mirror. So what is this reflecting about how I see myself? Where am I still believing a lie about my worth, my power, or safety? Number three is to feel it, to rewire it. Illusions come from fear and truth comes from love. The only way to reprogram an aspect of you that is formed in fear is to hold it in unconditional love. When you allow these repressed aspects of yourself to be held and felt, you rewire your nervous system to be open to receiving rather than closed off and contracted. Since what was once held in fear is now being held in love, making this aspect of you feel safe. Number four is to choose a higher perception. Once you start to regulate your nervous system through obviously holding space for this aspect of you, you want to shift the perspective into what your higher self would feel. Let's say that you are in this forest, you cannot see anything, you're looking to get out of this forest, and in front of you is just like a bunch of trees, right? But the bird that is right in the sky flying above you can see that the forest ends soon, and they can see everything around it as well that you are absolutely not seeing because you're inside the forest. Well, my friend, that you are both the human in the forest and the bird flying above, which is God. You can choose to see the perception from the eyes of God, that God got you and everything will be okay. And this is really just a redirection. When you see things from the eyes of God or your higher self, you start to attract things from that place. And number five is to act from alignment. Perception alone is not enough. When your perception shifts, your actions need to follow. When your perception shifts, you are also going to experience what is called synchronicities, which I actually cover in this video right here if you want to go watch it. But synchronicities are basically the clues that your higher self leaves you that are in alignment with this new version of yourself that you are trying to tune into through your perception. So things that in your life that are going to happen, opportunities that you must take, and if you don't take them, then obviously you're not going to align. Your Your actions must follow the perception you embody. If you've been stuck repeating the same patterns, the answer is not outside of you, it's in your perception. You're not broken, you are just projecting, but you need to set your ego aside and start to take responsibility for the way that you are perceiving your reality. Because your projection holds the map, and when you learn to read it, you step into true mastery. This is how you become truly magnetic and a conscious reality creator, not just to money, but to the reality that truly reflects your higher self. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like. And if you're truly looking to master yourself in the mind, don't forget to subscribe. I'm Aria Morphy, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.